के होना, पतिता पावन तुम बिने के होना, जहराने कटे गेले पाप दूरे जा, हे मोना दयाल प्रभु के बा कोथा पाय, हे मोना दयाल प्रभु के बा कोथा पाय, गंगारा पारश होइले पाश्चाते पावा, दर्शने पवित्र करो ये तुम्हार गुण, दर्शने पवित्र करो ये तुम्हार गुण, हरि स्थाने अपराधे तारे हरि नाम, तुम स्थाने अपराधे नाही परित्राण, तुम स्थाने अपराधे नाही परित्राण, तुम्हारा हृदय सदा गोविंद विश्राम, गोविंद कहे ना मोरा वैष्णव पराण, गोविंद कहे ना मोरा वैष्णव पराण, प्रति जन्मे कोरी आशा चरणे राधूनी, नरोत्तमे करो दया अपनार बोली, नरोत्तमे करो दया अपनार बोली, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar, Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Panchang pranams to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pranams, Prabhuji. Welcome to the forum, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji. I hope you all can hear me. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I actually I was there, but I saw Mataji singing very, very, in a wonderful way. So I thought not to bother her, and so thank you. But did you all do Jai Radha Madhav, or we have to do Jai Radha Madhav? Do I have to do Jai Radha Madhav?
I didn't do Jai Radha Madhav, Prabhuji, you can do. And
Yes,
I'm apologies. Actually, I should have stopped before, but somehow I didn't notice. So
No. It is okay, Mataji, because what I'm going to sing in say in Bhagavatam is nothing but what you were already doing. So Kirtan singing and talking about Lord is one and the same. It's like there's no difference. So it's okay. I've seen one devotee was singing in Radhanath Maharaj's class. When that devotee was singing, Radhanath Maharaj came in between, and devotees wanted to stop that devotee to sing, but Radhanath Maharaj sat in the audience. You can see not one video, several videos of him. His disciples are taking class, and he will sit next on the room and hearing. So when such exalted devotees they show such symptoms, we must also understand that okay, I am being called here, so I know I have to, and why she's not stopping or not informing. So it's all okay. So I find it perfectly fine. In fact, you kept on engaging when initial 3 to 4 minutes I was not there. So thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
In
Prabhuji.
fact, what you were doing today, the way you were singing, the class also on that itself. So let's quickly kickstart this.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. So actually, I completed one complete Ramayana in past 7 sessions, 7 kandas, to almost 2 hours each, and 14 hours we completed Ramayana. I was taking that discourse, giving that discourse, or rather I should say, and I realized that I don't know, this Kartal is very audible in Google Meet. It's not same in the Zoom, and you have to pay for Zoom. That's what I heard. So anyway. Just wanted to let you all know that Google Meet also allows you all the instruments hearing, but you don't have to pay for anything, and no disconnections. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopidana Vallabha, Jaya Girivardhari, Jaya Gopidana Vallabha, Jaya Girivardhari, Jaya Girivardhari. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरावन चारी, यमुना तीरावन चारी, जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज विहारी. हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha, Radhe Hari Radha. Ras Bihari Radhe, Jaya Radha, Ras Bihari Radha, Bihari Radhe, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva. Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Radha Govind Radha Govind Radhe Jaya Radha Govind Radha Govind Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe 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 Govind 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 Radhe 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 Govind Radhe Govind Bolo Hari Gopal Bolo गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शना जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पतगामी दावतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पतगामी भावतु मे जय नृसिंहदेव 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 जय नृसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय गौरनिताय 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 निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम संकीर्तन की जय चला प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल Hare Krishna. I have been given a service. Yeah, you can share the screen for Srimad Bhagavatam 4.1.13, which we are singing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Puran, Canto 4, Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 1. And first slok. So these are very descriptive about Gandharva Muni, and and so I'll just sing the first shloka and the translation, and then we'll we'll then I'll have the katha started, and then we'll open for two more shlokas. So I think I have been given 13, 14, and 15. I think only three shlokas, so you can have the devotees can raise their hands to sing also. Patni marchestu kala Sushuve kardamat maja Kashyapam purnimanam cha Yayorapuritam jagat Patni marichestu kala Sushuve kardamat maja Kashyapam purnimanam cha Yayorapuritam jagat. Synonyms: Patni, wife; marriage of the sage named Marichi; two, also; Kala, named Kala; Sushuve, gave birth; Kardama Atmaja, daughter of uh, Kardama Muni. Now, Atmaja means one who is very close and almost linked to Atma. So like that. So that means daughter is very close to any father. So like that, somebody very, very dear and close to Kardama is actually the daughter of Kardama, is referred to as Kardama, daughter of Kardama Muni. Kashyapam, of the name Kashyapa, Purnimanam cha, and of the name Purnima, and Yayo, by whom, Apuritam, spread all over, and Jagat, the world. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kardama Muni's daughter Kala, who was married to Marichi, gave birth to two children whose names were Kashyapa and Purnima, and their descendants are spread all over the world. So this is very clearly, shows that how the souls they take from very highly elevated devotees, and then they populate the world, which is actually the same thing what Brahma tells Sudra to do, and we know that. So like this, Brahma also asked Sanat Kumaras to do the same, but they refused, and Brahma became very angry, and so we know the details about it. So this is not the first time that the Lord is trying to, in His creation, taking this the Jagat, Yayo Puritam Jagat, Apuritam Jagat. So, Apuritam means to spread, and by whom? By wonderful Kardama Muni's daughter Kala, who was married to Marichi. Now, Marichi, we hear Marichi and very close is Marich. So when I give Ramayana discourses, sometimes some devotees call me. So whenever I read about Rishi, about Marichi, Muni, then I always remember that Marich also. So incidentally, people always relate to Marich and not this Marichi. Just wanted to give you an as a FYI that they think that Marich was a demon. Yes, it is true. But then when he was fighting and he got an arrow hit by Lord Ram, he already got quite a good self-realization. And in fact, he kept away himself from the demonic activities, and to a greater time he spent in silos, meditating on the good activities and trying to be good. but it is when Ravana didn't give him any choice to do. He took the decision of getting uh, um, killed by uh, Rama, then being killed by Ravana. So there is a very big realization here, actually, when I'm bringing this, not my realization. I am understanding this, why I brought this Marichi point along with Marich. When the class unfolds, I will discuss on those points as well. So, so it all depends upon, because in the coming shlokas, I want to bring this word known as intensity, or Prabhupada will use the word gradation. So please remember this. Next two shlokas, we'll hear this word gradation. I relate it to intensity to weave this class around. So gradation and intensity. These are the two things which we should remember. It will help you to understand this discussion more easily. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jayam Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we have already sung the shloka and the meaning, and before we move out to the next shlokas, I'll just do some more prayers and then we get start with all the interaction with all the devotees here. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. So when I'm reading this, it's important for me to stop here for a few seconds, because we read this Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam. Means Rupa Goswami came down to establish the innermost desires in the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and what he wanted in this world, the Vaishnavas, to do. So there is a purpose I'm bringing this. And I will relate this also in the, so remember this point also. So I already told, please remember gradations, intensity, and with intensity, I'm going to give an example of Rupa Goswami, and then I will make use of this also in the further. So you remember this point also. So he came down. All right. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadhana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahitanalita Shri Vishakhanavitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishna Bhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kaltarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Now, I will again stop here. When we sing always Vancha Kaltarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Evacha. So we all, if you notice, we all bow down, although sometimes we may forget, but Vansha, that's the motive. So again, now I want to bring the point why I brought the Rupa Khadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. So if you notice that Krishna's creation in Goluka is complete on its own. But Krishna wants, since he's complete and he wants, it is said that Krishna is hungry only of one thing. It is true that he is Swanam Priya, he loves to hear his own name, but actually he loves to hear his name, fine. He loves to see people becoming his devotees, that's fine. He loves to see people helping each other, that's fine. He wants this Vasudev Kutumbam to be spread all over the world, that's also fine. But all that he can do at the what you say this as, what do you call this in English? Within seconds, right? But what is this process known as? If you can hear my hand, I don't know if somebody knows, what do you call it, as click or fingers you do like this, right? I don't know if somebody knows, what do you call this in English? You can let me know. Clicking, right? Clicking your fingers on what? Yeah, in a click, in a moment. If he could have done everything in a click, then why he's expecting? When he's God, for him, there is no difficulty to achieve anything what he wants. He simply needs to desire, and all of us can become Krishna conscious within seconds. And the whole creation can be wind up and all we remain in Golota. Can he not do that? Everybody knows, yes. In fact, when we are not in direct devotion or come in these most of the times when somebody says, go and visit a tirtha, so they say, Are Bhagwan bulaega to hum jayenge. But we ISKCON devotees don't ever think that. We say, Are nahi, Krishna bulaye na bulaye, main to ja raha hu. My heart is lost in Vrindavan. When we are not in devotees association, we think one day Krishna will steal my heart and then I will become his devotee. Oh, one day when God wants, I will do devotion. That's what we feel. But when we become devotees, in the association of devotees, the eagerness is what enlightens us. And that eagerness comes with gradations. And say, for example, we are 7 people who are climbing the bus. And say, suppose, or a temple. Why to take an example of a bus? I wanted to take an example of bus. Say, suppose we are climbing a train, which has some, we are going towards our seat, a place where we are sitting, or we are going to a temple which has some ladders. By each step, you feel, oh, when you are too below, your intensity to see the altar is very high. And when you are about to reach, that intensity is going away because you are in anyway going to see now, so then you feel like, oh, I'm able to see the Lord, or I'm able to see. That happened with me during Ramlala's darshan. There are many stops and many places they will stop you, then you have to take ladders. Not only Ramlala, anywhere, even in Tirupati, if you see, you are seeing the Lord, Venkateshwara. You go to the cabins. So when you are far away, your intensity is actually too high. But the moment you are coming close, you feel relaxed. Ab to darshan milna hai, pakka. Now I'm going to see darshan. So what more? And then when we come in front of the Lord, most of the time we lose complete intensity because we are mesmerized by the Lord in a positive way. But if you notice, and then you get a feeling that I now know that after so much of hard work or so much of crowd beating around and then coming here and the security, now I'm able to see the Lord. Let me grasp this situation. But immediately we are asked to go. And then when you go out of the temple, Ramlala or Tirupati or any temple for that matter, where it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of effort to see the darshans, intensity completely goes away. And then you start worrying, okay, now 2 days after, now I have to catch a train. And automatically your intensity from the Lord is shifted to different, how to catch an auto to reach hotel if you are in some place or wherever I have to go, or let me take some prasadam or laddu prasadam. So intensity is very important. And that is why when we are saying this vancha kaltarubhyascha kripa sindubhi evacha, our intensity is to get kripa. and we are trying to bow down before the Vancha Kalptarubhyasya, means the devotees, this arrangement is actually like a Kalptaru. It can fulfill all your desire. And the desire is when to Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, when the desire of a soul is same as the desire of the Lord, the intensity multiplies. When the soul desires for the Lord, but we have certain mixes, certain our own feelings also, that let me have this also, and then anyway I will do devotion. Let me go to US and settle down and earn in dollars. Then I will go for Rath Yatra. You see, you see, I want to serve, but I also want money. I want to serve, but I also want villa. That devotee bought a villa. I also need to buy a villa. That devotee has a good car. I need to buy a good car. Actually, this I'm bringing because I heard Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class this Sunday. He was actually bringing this point very nicely, but it was a very deep philosophical class. And, he gives explaining. He's a wonderful devotee. So I realized then, yes. And then he said, we are intensified to Krishna. We want that intensity, but we have certain our own feelings that Krishna, I want to do, but give me this, I will do more for you. Give me, he gave an example that a lot of devotees said, give me Krishna millions of rupees. I will donate you, I'll do this, I'll create. One devotee just a couple of days back called me, Prabhu, I want such a big job, 2 crore salary. I will make a center of ISKCON. A good desire, but to get 2 crore salary. And he told me on Friday, and I also, for 2 seconds, that feeling of a devotee climbs in your mind and head also. But I know after so many years of working that you have to think what you are capable of. But he said that, maybe he also said, when he said that, he said, I'm not capable to achieve that. But maybe if I do, I'll donate it to Krishna. But Chaitanya Charan Prabhu made it very clear in the class, and surprisingly, he spoke something which I heard from devotees. He said the same thing, that some devotees feel that they will get to US, they will earn dollars, they will earn money, they will do this, they will have villa, and in villa I will do a nice program. But to get to that villa, to get to that US, you actually sacrifice so many things. And in that situation, you will lose the intensity towards the Lord. And what if during that time only you pass away? Then what will you do? So think before we ask for anything, because that's what uh, uh, when we ask vancha kaltarubhyascha, means their devotees are the asking devotees or asking Lord is also kalpataru vriksha. He can give you anything, but you need to know what you are asking for. So that's why when we read these prayers or when we are doing these Bhagavatam sessions, we must remember that we have to understand our real position. And from there, we must know that even if we are quite further in the creation of the world, quite away in the creation of the Lord, but that doesn't mean that we are away from the Lord. That means Lord is expecting us to have more intensity towards Him. This is what we will read today. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadhu Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ogam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dina Tarinam Savera Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo Savera Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. Srimati Radharani ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So with one more point, I will request the devotees who have raised their hands to start and complete the shlokas. You may notice when we come to this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, the importance, the importance to do devotional service. The devotee environment puts a huge emphasis on doing devotional service. You know why? Because devotional service, it uses 360-degree rounded qualities of a soul engaged in a body, but then you take whatever grade of body, whatever intensity you are born with. Some devotees are very enthusiastic. Some devotees are less enthusiastic. Some devotees are very good in some services. Some devotees are not so good in that one service. They are very good in accounting. Somebody is very good in kirtan. Somebody is very good in housekeeping. But somebody is very good in painting. Some Matajis, I know, they take hours to make garlands, which I think I can never do that. One devotee I know in my immediate association, he makes nice turbans of the Lord. And he shows me and I wonder, मैं तो कभी बना ही नहीं सकता ऐसा turban. मतलब I don't know. I tried also once thinking what it is. I brought some things from the market. But believe me, I couldn't make that turban. But he's taller than me. His fingers are broader than me. But he makes so small turbans which fit to the small deities also so nicely. And he has gifted me one turban for my, turban set for my Gaurnitai. And I can't believe how he has done that with such huge fingers. And he's almost 6 feet tall and such broadly person, but does so many tiny things. So it all depends upon the intensity with which you want to serve the Lord. And in devotional service, when you involve your 360-degree depth of your created body out of all the gunas, it helps you to intensify your intensity towards Krishna, and then you forget which level you are. You just want to serve Krishna and serve others, and then you really progress in life. With this point, I would request some devotees to read shloka number 14 and 15 turn by turn. 14 also is a small, 15 couple of devotees can sing.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you
So
want
over
us
to
to
you,
read the
Mataji.
shloka? Hello. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Do you want us to read the
Yes, yes, I'm
shloka,
able to hear.
word meaning and translation and purport?
Yes, yes, yes.
All four,
Yes,
right?
because there are only 2 shlokas and we have good time.
Hare
We have 20
Krishna.
minutes.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
So I think that is the process, right? Interactive.
Yes,
I don't know
Prabhuji.
if other devotees do that.
Yes,
I was told by Achintya Gopinath Prabhu that make it interactive. And that's the
yes,
reason I am
yes,
following
Prabhu.
all this
Suma Mataji,
on
you
his
read the shloka.
instructions.
And
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Kripamayi
Pranam.
Sita Devi Mataji, you do the word meaning. Anita Mataji, the translation and purport. Yeah, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Purnima Sutta Virajam Vishwagam Cha Parantapa Devakulyam Hare Pada Shauchadya Bhut Saride Diva. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Krishna.
Hare Krishna, translation and purport by Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, you have to do the word meaning.
Word meaning. Okay,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Anita Mataji will do the rest.
Synonyms. Purnima, Asuta begot, Virajam, a son named Viraja, Viswasam cha, the named Visvaga, Paramtapa, an annihilator of enemies, Devakulyam, a daughter named Devakulya, Harihi means Supreme Personality of Godhead, Father Sausad, by the water which washed his lotus feet. Yeah, she, Abhut, became Sarid Diva, the transcendental water within the banks of the Ganges. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear Vidura, of the 2 sons, Kashyapa and Purnima begot 3 children, namely Viraja, Vishwaga and Devakulya. Of these 3, Devakulya was the water which washed the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead and which later on transformed into the Ganges of the heavenly planets. Purport of the two sons Kashyapa and Purnima. Herein, Purnima's descendants are described. An elaborate description of these descendants will be given in the 6th canto. It is also understood herein that Devakulya is the presiding deity of the river Ganges, which comes down from the heavenly planets to this planet and is accepted to be sanctified because it touched the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. Hare Krishna.
We should read
Very
the
good.
shloka.
Hare Krishna.
14.
Before this, yes, Mataji. Just I'll just share some points here, and then we can ask other devotees too. So we all know the Devakulya is actually the presiding deity of the river Ganges, and in my view, we say, right, Gita Gangodakam Pitva. Now, one is river Ganges, which is really flowing, which came down from the efforts of Bhagirath, right? And Bhagirath brought it down, but the weight was too high, so the Lord Shiva gives the first position on his jata, and then one string comes out, and then we see the Ganges. And that is why, because of the devotional service of Bhagirath, the another name of Ganges is Bhagirathi. Exactly similar point we were saying this, that the prayas, everybody lauds in, I mean, they applaud, not lords, applaud the efforts of Bhagirath. In fact, to that extent that I come from the northern region of this country, when I was very young, the first time I heard Bhagirath word is when my mother told me, I was preparing for my class 10, when she said, and because I come from Hindi land, so she said, तुम्हें भागीरथ प्रयास करना पड़ेगा अपने को स्टूडेंट बनने के लिए. I didn't understand this. Bhagirath prayas. Okay, later on I understood, she explained me. But my mother, it's not only just my mother. Many people, at least a couple of years before this influence of social media, they used to use this word. Oh, ye to Bhagirath prayas hai, sir. Now they may be saying different other, things. But there also, it's not just prayas, effort. It's Bhagirath's effort. So intensity. Again, intensity. Ganges river came down because of the intensity of Bhagirath, where the presiding deity, Devakulya, came down. I'll give you one more example. I gave the entire Ramayana discourse in 14 hours. One Mataji from this group was there. I'm very fortunate that she was. I think. So the point what I want to make this is that the seed of Ramayana was also came in the seed of Ramayana was sown, okay, because the Rishi Valmiki had the intense desire to glorify one who has lot of good qualities, to that extent that when he met Narad Muni, he said, I want to glorify please tell me, oh my dear Narad Muni, oh you such an intelligent person, please tell me, my heart's desire is to glorify somebody in this planet who has these qualities. And that is when Narad Muni says that yes, the son of Dashrata is there, whom you can glorify in the form of Ram. And immediately his intensity didn't come in the form of a Ramayana, where the presiding deity of Ramayana, do you know the name of the presiding deity of Ramayana? That's not a quiz. I'm just telling you for your FYI. Which is the Devi which personifies as Ramayana? If you don't know, no, it's not a quiz. It's just for your knowledge. So that Devi also saw after some time that the same Vishwamitra saw one killing of a creature. And he was so seeing the dukkha of that creature, that living entity which was getting killed or dying. Intensity again came that why is all this happening? And he became so unhappy that he is looking for somebody who's so that he can glorify that wonderful personality who's as good as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Let him be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If he's come down here, I will glorify him. But immediately the arrangement of the Lord shows him exactly reverse, and his intensity increases. Now, in the previous class with Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he was making the same point, that in our life, when we are progressing towards Krishna, some incident will happen, something will come in our mind, and we are degraded. Now, degradation doesn't happen bodily. It happens more in the form of our understanding, and sometimes more on our intensity towards Krishna. I am a soul, I'm doing everyday Mangal Aarti, and suddenly I got a night job where I'm expected to, in IT it happens more. I am an IT person, information technology, ITO outsourcing, it has shifts. You can't help it. Big servers are down, the whole night you have to spend. And I have personally experienced this, that when I joined 2022, 23 years back, ISKCON, I was so happy to do Mangal Aartis, and I used to wake up, I used to feel very proud that I have done Mangal Aarti. In fact, today also, I'm doing Mangal Aartis and do it quite early in the morning. But as the health progresses, sometimes I get severe headaches. So then, we have to take rest. So after doing Aarti, again, I go to sleep. So sometimes I feel, because my office work is sometimes like this, I have to work dead in the night because I'm into sales. But the question is, and you notice that once that Mangal Aarti, that rigorous doing Mangal Aarti makes you feel very light in the body, and suddenly you are shifted, not doing Mangal Aarti, your body, I feel personally, your body becomes heavier. Because mind becomes heavier, I didn't do Mangal Aarti, I didn't do Mangal Aarti. And that intensity degrades. And then, but in that negative also, you want to get that intensity back. That's what Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was saying. The only way you can come back to the place where you left is because you fall under gradations, but then you have to, with intensity, you climb back. And something similar happens here also, that he wanted to glorify. Valmiki Rishi wanted to glorify, but he wanted to be all happy, he wanted to see all good things, but he saw a very severe thing, but his intensity increased. And so Lord Brahma appeared, and he almost cursed the hunter. And the curse came out in the form of poetry. And Brahma appears and says that, don't worry that you have cursed, because I know you want to be self-controlled, but all this, take it as a providence, and I'm happy with your intensity to glorify Krishna, who is Ram himself. So you please go ahead and start writing Ramayana. You see this? Even when he's fluctuating and seeing something horrible, his intensity is increasing, and actually he's able to glorify, and such a big Ramayana came out. Whose presiding deity is, or who's the Devi personified? I didn't get any answers. If anybody wants to answer, otherwise I'll say it's any answers. Don't Google. There's no need to Google. No quiz. It's Gayatri Devi. So Gayatri Devi then becomes the embodiment of Ramayana, which is the glorification of the Lord. Beautiful. So out here, we see something similar, that the two sons of Kashyapa and Purnima, herein, descendants are described actually. An elaborate description we'll read in the sixth canto. So I think we should quickly move to the next sloka. And then it is understood herein that Devakulya is the presiding deity of the river Ganges, which comes down from the heavenly planet and accepted to be sanctified because it touches the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we know what work generally the Supreme Personality of Godhead work, what Ganges does is the purification of the souls. And a lot of devotees, they go to Har Ki Pauri and so many places where Ganga is flowing. There's one more river near my native place is Ram Ganga, another tributary like that. So amazing, amazing these are points. So let's have the another devotee read the next sloka. It's a little longer one. I think somebody can read it in pieces and parts.
Hare Krishna.
Couple of
Prabhuji.
devotees. Hare Krishna.
Paramprabha Mataji, you can recite the shloka. Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you do the word meaning. Suma Mataji, do the translation. Prabhuji, the purport is very long. Should we get
Read it, read it.
Okay,
Read it.
I will
because
do the
because
first
it
two
will
paragraphs
give
and
it will give everybody chance to say
Yes,
something.
yes.
It is interactive.
Yes, Archana Mataji, you do the first paragraph. Sudha Mataji, the second paragraph of the purport, and we'll see if any more hands are there. Then we'll call out.
Yes,
Hare
give
Krishna.
everybody chance.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna
Very good.
Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Atre Patnyana Trinjagne Suyasha Sutan Dattam Durvasa Samson Somam Atmesha Brahma Sambhavan. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranams Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Synonymous. Atreha of Atri Muni. Someone is
Patni.
Patni. Wife. Anasuya. Named Anasuya. Three. Jagne. Bore. Yeshasaha. Very famous. Sutan. Sons. Dattam. Dattatreya. Durvasa. Soma. The moon god. Atma. The super soul. Isha. Lord Shiva. Brahma. Lord Brahma. Sambhavan. Incarnations of Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranams.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Pranam Prabhu. In this
Mataji
verse, we find
translation. Hare Krishna. Mataji translation.
Translation.
Sudha
Translation.
Mataji first para,
Translation.
Chandana Mataji second for the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anasuya, the wife of Atri Muni, gave birth to three very famous sons, Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa, who were partial representations of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma. Soma was a partial representation of Lord Brahma. Dattatreya was a partial representation of Lord Vishnu, and Durvasa was a partial representation of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranams. Translation by his purport by his Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, we find the words Atma, Isha, Brahma, Sambhavan. Atma means the super soul or Vishnu. Isha means Lord Shiva, and Brahma means the four-headed Lord Brahma. The three sons born of Anusuya, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma were born as partial representations of these three demigods. Atma is not in the category of the demigods or living entities because he is Vishnu. Therefore, he is described as Vibhinnamsha Bhutanam. The super soul Vishnu is the seed-giving father of all living entities, including Brahma and Lord Shiva. Another meaning of the word Atma may be accepted in this way. The principle who is the super soul in every Atma, or one may say the soul of everyone, became manifested as Dattatreya because the word Amsha, part and parcel, is used here. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Pranams Prabhuji. In Bhagavad Gita, the individual souls are also described as parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Super Soul. So why not accept that Dattatreya is one of those parts? Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are also described here as parts. So why not accept all of them as ordinary individual souls? The answer is that the manifestation of Vishnu and those of the ordinary living entities are certainly all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and no one is equal to him. But among the parts and parcels, there are different categories. In the Varaha Purana, it is nicely explained that some of the parts are Swamsha and some are Vibhinamsha. Shall I continue, Prabhuji, or shall we give chance to others?
Mataji,
Yes.
yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
Namita Mataji.
This is a very good thing. Yes,
You
Mataji,
can-
give chance. If you are feeling in that, this is what increases your intensity. I'm very amazed that when we sing, we get when we start saying, we feel like reading more. But suddenly you made a check to yourself and said, no, let others. Amazing, amazing tendency. Very nice. Please, for
Hari Bol.
her, let's have a big Hari Bol for her.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
So,
Hari
so
Bol. Thank you,
to
Chandana.
read, yes. So let's have somebody else also read.
Namita Mataji, you can
Hare
read one
Hare
paragraph.
Krishna,
I mean, there are no
Mataji, Hare Krishna,
paragraphs, but yeah,
Prabhuji.
you can read till somebody raises their
Vi-
hand, then I'll call out
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Vibhimsha parts are Vibhimsha parts are called jivas, and Swamsha parts are in the Vishnu category. In the jiva category, the Vibhimsha parts and parcels, there are also gradations. That is explained in the Vishnu Purana, where it is clearly stated that the individual parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord are subject to being covered by the external energy called illusion or Maya. Such individual parts and parcels who can travel to any part of the Lord's creation are called Sarvagata and are suffering the pangs of material existence. They are proportionately freed from the covering of ignorance. Prabhuji, can you just move your screen? Ignorance under material existence according to different levels of world and under different influences of the modes of material nature. For example, the sufferings of jivas stated in the mode of goodness are less than those of jivas situated in the mode of ignorance. Pure Krishna consciousness, however, is the birthright of all living entities because every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The consciousness of the Lord is also in the part and parcel, and according to the proportion to which that consciousness is cleared of material dirt, the living entities are differently situated.
Hare
In the
Krishna
Vedanta,
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Radha Mataji, you can take it forward. Thank you, Mataji. Radha
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Yeah. So just give a break here because see, you're seeing such a deep philosophy they are discussing. Did you notice this? Did you notice this? Such a deep philosophy they are discussing. So just when Radha Mataji or whoever coordinator Mataji said to just let's give a pause here and then remember from where you have to read. So see, read this what it is saying here. So if you go up, right, I mean, Lord is the reason of this creation. He is known as Sarva Karana Karanam. Now you must have read this word gradation, right? Gradation. Now, once, many years back, one very senior devotee to me, I asked him, Prabhu, इतना दुख क्यों है इस संसार में? Why there is so much of pain? Now, because sometimes it is not only me, I've seen many people, they're not able to see others suffering. So I was also born with that feeling that when I was in class 12th, I was graduating from 12th and trying to get into an engineering college. I used to see a very old man in my neighbor, and he was a watchman. And there was no mosquito net for him. And he was a very old man, but he was kept as a watchman in somebody's house. And that gentleman, he was I think into an Indian army. So he had kept his house. His parents were much more elder to my parents. And so His parents had died, but he had kept the watchman just to take care of the house. And whenever I used to come out, I used to take a cycle and try to bicycle and go. I used to look at that watchman wait for 10 seconds. I used to feel so unhappy that I am living in such a big house and a normal house, and I have a mosquito net. And this person is somebody's son, but now he's very old. But he's also somebody's family member. And why he's in such a dilapidated situation? And so I used to buy one ointment known as Odomos. There is a reason why I'm giving you this example. I had not that time thought that I'm a devotee or I'm going to be a devotee or I need to be a devotee. I will join ISKCON, then I will start giving Bhagavatam. Forget everything. I didn't know anything about me. I didn't have even properly heard about Krishna. All what I used to hear is my mother's elder brother's wife, my Mami ji. I used to just go and put my head on her lap and say, Mami ji, mujhe katha sunao. And then I will put and sleep. And she will tell me all Vishnu, Parvati, Vishnu and Lakshmi Vishnu katha. And she will give me Parvati, then Narad Muni. In Hindi, she used to say, and I used to hear and I used to sleep. That actually was my habit. So people had the tendency to collect stamps. I used to collect vibhuti. You know that vibhuti which we put ashes. I have a vibhuti collection which is around more than 12,000 temples in India. Maybe the only vibhuti in the world which has vibhuti right from any temple you say. I used to send letters to people saying that send me vibhuti. They used to send vibhuti and I used to. Still it is with me. That is my interest, my intensity. And then later on, I realized that this gentleman, so I used to give him Odomos to put and what. Then he was so old that I used to go and put Odomos in his hands. With this activity of mine, I got a very big realization. Now I think. In fact, I was doing it very plainly that time. I was doing it very plainly that time. I had no okay, and I used to put like a normal duty of mine. Nobody knew. I used to take 10 rupees, 12 rupees from my mother. That time, 12 rupees was a big thing. My mother used to ask me 2 questions. Why are you taking this 12 rupee every 1 week? 13 rupees, because the Odomos tube used to come for 11 rupees something. I used to ask 12 rupees. And then I used to go and put, and then one day my father was returning from office when I was putting, and he realized this, and he smelled my hand and he said, Odomos, hey, you'll put it in you'll eat it, and so go wash your hand. What are you doing? And he saw, but he realized that this is a good act. Why I am telling you this? That time I was doing this activity without any judgment. But now when I see, I'm able to feel that that was a very good act which I did, because that act, and now I feel why that poor soul was suffering so much. Glad I could be of some help. Now, exactly something similar is mentioned here, right? They are professionally freed from coverings of ignorance under material existence according to different levels of work and under influences of the material mode of nature. I used to ask why that gentleman is suffering. Now I know the answer is because we all work in this life, Janma after Janma, and lot of grades of work we do, and that either will make us situate in one level of mode of ignorance. Exactly. For example, suffering of jivas situated in the mode of goodness are less than those of jivas situated in the mode of ignorance. Okay? And pure Krishna consciousness, however, is birthright of all living entities. See, that devotee, that person, also is a devotee only, maybe not that in current format, but one future devotee was actually maybe trying to be a devotee, at least in this format. I was going and serving him. It seems now I feel as Krishna was making use of me to help that living entity, because he was also the part and parcel of the law. Now I realize, oh, Krishna, you are so clever that when I didn't know about you, that all living entities are you, something you felt in my heart that I was feeling pain for that person is you are the reason for that pain. You were the one who was giving me the pain to feel about him. So I am not did anything good. You made me do the good things. And then now you are giving me reciprocation. By when I met with an accident, couple of devotees came and helped me. That is what we should understand. That this is known as being part and parcel of the Lord. Lord is known as Janardana Pumsam. Now, here there is one more portion they are saying that Lord is a very energetic, right? In Goluka, Krishna exists, we know. But the moment material creation starts, his other forms appear in the form of Vishnu, which are known as Swamsha, right? And then we know that then it's Isha, then it's Shiva, and then Brahma, and then the us. Here, when you'll read, it talk about Brahma also. So you're getting my point. The Lord is one and the same. Om Purnavan, he's complete, but he's creating different grades. This is the question which I asked unknowingly. Later on, I started reading Bhagavatam. Now I think that devotee answered me, Prabhu, itna dukh kyun hai sansar? Because Krishna wants to intensify. Krishna wants to intensify his enjoyment. And so different grades are there, different amshas. He himself becomes amshas. And then Swamsha and this and that, different categories. They are saying it talks in more one of the Puranas, it is more explained deeply. But the idea behind is the more you deeply read, and if you can deep reading and you can correlate it to explain it to somebody, it's really meaningful. So too much we go deep in, then we lose what we wanted to know. So for devotees, we are happy to know that currently we are conditioned, and Vedanta Sutra, the living entities are of different gradations within the potency, what we are born with. So let's read wherever, and you will understand what I was saying. So can somebody read it quickly? Whoever, Radha Mataji was given a chance, or some devotee.
Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You have to start with Inda.
In the Vedanta Sutra, the living entities of different gradations are compared to candles or lamps.
Read slowly, Mataji. No hurry to close, and we will close with your reading. So read very slowly so that everybody understands.
Okay. Hare Krishna. In the Vedanta Sutra, the living entities of different gradations are compared to candles or lamps with different candle power. For example, some electric bulbs have the power of 1000 candles. Some have the power of 500 candles. Some the power of 100 candles. Some 50 candles, etc. But all electric bulbs have light. Light is present in every bulb, but the gradation of light are different. Similarly, there are gradations of Brahman. The Vishnu Swamsha expansions of the Supreme Lord in different Vishnu forms are like lamps. Lord Shiva is also like a lamp, and the supreme candle power or the 100% light is Krishna.
Which is Krishna, yes.
The Vishnu Tattva has 94%, the Shiva Tattva has 84%, Lord Brahma has 78%, and the living entities are also like Brahma. But in the conditioned state, their power is still more dim. There are gradations of Brahman, and no one can deny this fact. Therefore, the words Atmesha Brahma Swambhavan indicate that Dattatreya was directly part and parcel of Vishnu, whereas Durvasa and Soma were parts and parcels of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. So, how many of you are able to relate what I'm saying? You have to, I don't know, I'm sorry, I should not ask this, because it doesn't mean that I'm always making sense what I'm speaking. I'm humbly asking, you are getting what gradations I was talking about? See, that's what, when I asked that devotee, why this so much variety in this world, is because Krishna creates this variety by different expansions. In fact, one political person went, don't want to name, he spoke in the open forum when was invited by ISKCON, that political person from a political party which is favorable, and they he said, now today I'm seeing so many Krishnas around me. Right? So he said that I'm seeing so many Krishnas around me. So everybody in devotion and in devotees, it was in ISKCON Delhi, nobody outrightly rejected him, or oh, we are not Krishna, it's part and parcel. No, he was saying in that sense that we are all part of Krishna's. Only Krishna is, he made one more point, is that when I see all of you, I see how can Lord exist, how Lord is existing in so much of variety. It is a very big realization. Do you all agree this? Do you all agree that when you see so many people around, you cannot understand, it's actually the expressions of Lord only around you? Because Lord is Paramatma in us. We are his part and parcels. Although we have been given minute independence. So beautifully, actually, Prabhupada is so intelligent devotee. He is. He's telling, it's like he's giving an example of wattage of bulbs, right? Did you realize this? I'm so happy reading this. I'm so happy to be under Srila Prabhupada, because that is one reason I say, if somebody, and not only I say, we all know that one who takes to Krishna consciousness and understands the philosophy, that's it for him. We all are reading Srila Prabhupada's intensity. See how he has beautifully explained Krishna in a very empirical way. It's an empirical testing is being done, right? Testing, empirical way. You can test it in the lab. You see, he's bringing the different grades of bulbs, 100 bulb. So when we are in bedroom, we need certain watt of bulb, right? Or LED bulb. But I know in restroom, you need little different, gradation of bulb. When you are in the front of a mirror, you need little brighter. When I know, being a married man, my wife told me once long back that, look, when I'm getting ready for the temple or for going out for anything, naturally she needs light so that she knows what she's wearing, right? Sari is pallu barabar hai ki nahi hai. Anybody, right? Even for, why not only for ladies, even for men, right? We shave or we do something or we get ready. We need light to see ourselves, right? So even inside a house, you have different rooms, and in different puja ka room, you need different golden light, right? So in my altar, I have a golden LED, which I don't have a golden bulb LED anywhere else. But some temples, I see silver LED, means silver light. See, different gradations are there. Depending upon the situation, depending upon the requirement, Lord also is expanding up till our level. But he gives, in every level expansion, he gives independence and power, right? But every gradation he has created, he has given certain intensity. Now, if you notice, from Vishnu, is Swamsha, he expands, and Shiva, and then Brahma, and then we, even lower. But as I told you in the beginning, the more you come lower, the Lord expects you to glow more. Although we are humans, like we have a certain conditioning. I can love my son, but can I love other son so much as I love my son that I give him entire property to him also? Will anybody here in the class will say, I'm about to die, or not to die, I'm old now, I want to write my will, and you may give something to Krishna, but will you just give your neighbor's friend half of your wealth? Is there somebody who's planning to give half of your wealth to whoever you see on the road, because that person also is somebody's son? No. That is our limit. You can make a devotee, you can help to become a devotee, but sometimes we start thinking, Prabhu, I know some counselors, some devotees have told, Prabhu, my counselor every day calls me. That's very good. But then those people ran away from those counselors also because they were overpowering them. They said, Prabhu, मैं तो freedom ही नहीं महसूस कर रहा हूँ. So we have to be balanced so that devotee is not burnt out. So you have to understand that we cannot be Somsha of the Lord, right? That is the Lord himself. We cannot be Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is, he's saying 84%. Brahma, 78%. We can't even, we come from in his They're saying, the Prabhupada is writing, the God Brahma is 78% living entities are so like Brahma, but not Brahma. We have that intensity. But Krishna wants us to intensify whichever grade where we fall in the creation. One thing is in our hands, Prabhuji and Mataji. Serve the Lord, to connect with Him and love Him with intensity. Now, loving and intensity comes when you discipline yourself. Don't do over disciplining that you hurt your health. I am one of those devotees who might be reprimanded sometimes by devotees being very little. Sometimes he's some devotees will say, "Arey mar jao lekin kar jao." Arey aisa nahi hai bhai. Health ko bhi to rakho na. You take care of your health. If you do every Ekadashi Nirjala, there are devotees who are eating packets of medicines. And they've got ulcers in the stomach. I know them personally. And they were like, when they started with me, now they've become lean and thin, and they are 45, 50-year-old. They look like 60. Simply because they kept on. But now they're not able to do their household work, not able to eat, enjoy food, which is a little spicy in the temple. Can you imagine this? So you have to be very careful of your gradation, of your level, and then in knowledge, intensify your devotion to the Lord. Haribo. I want to give a pause here because I've already gone ahead of that. Hare Krishna. Om Tat Sat. If you have understood what I'm saying today, I'm happy. Otherwise, please forgive me if I have gone. I don't know if you have not understood. I'm sorry. But
Hari
I'm not
Bol,
God.
Prabhuji, it was a very good class. I'm sure everybody has been listening with rapt attention. Devotees, if anybody has question, Prabhuji, can we take questions?
If you have time, I'm okay.
Yes, Prabhu, we do have 15 minutes. Anybody has question? 10 minutes we have, yeah.
Okay.
Padma
If
Mataji,
I am
please.
able to answer.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As usual, your classes are very, very philosophical, as usual. Yeah, very nice.
So it's a compliment, or you are telling me?
No, it's a compliment.
Bad.
It's a compliment.
Okay.
Prabhu, the sentence that you said that devotees who do Nirjal Ekadasi every month, every Ekadasi, and the sickness that you pointed out. But what about the pure devotees, Maharajas? They also keep Nirjal on every Ekadasis. That's what I heard, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. So what's your question?
No, they are fine. But you were saying that most of them, they have ulcers. Because I was also thinking sometimes it's good to, because my Maharaj also keeps...
Haribol, Mataji, Prabhuji said that you have to see your gradation. According to your
You have to see your
gradation,
health.
according to what is your capacity, you do that much,
Capacity
he
you
said.
do. That's all. I
Okay,
didn't say
Hare
anything else.
Krishna.
I didn't say that you should not do. I said I know devotees who started with me 20, 22, 23 years back. They did, and I was also doing. Do you think I've never done in my 24 years Nirjala Ekadashi? I've done several times. But later on, I started belching and I started getting headaches. I was eating Ceridon. Then one devotee said it is bad. Yes, it's a fact. My body didn't take it. So I don't do Nirjala. I do Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi.
Yeah,
okay,
that
I
we
do
do.
Pandava.
Yeah,
Because
we do
then
that.
I was told you do one Pandala Nirjala Ekadashi, then you don't have to do. Devotees told me. I don't know. I'm not quoting scriptures. But what I'm trying to say, you have to understand that if you are a small candle, okay, do you know birthday candle? You know birthday candle?
Yeah.
It's a
Prabhuji,
small pink
bulbs,
color,
small candle.
blue color.
Yeah.
Correct? That's also a candle.
Yes.
But do you know there's one
Yes,
more
Prabhuji.
bigger candle, such a big thick candle, which lot of shopkeepers, generally Bangalore
Yes.
and metros, we don't
Yes, Prabhuji,
see
you
so
get
many.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
now a small candle will burn small with small wick. It will give this much. But if you think with this small candle, I lit the entire room with the birthday candle, I will be able to see clearly the entire room. Is it possible? You need
No,
several. So you will burn faster. So I'm trying to relate all this just for you to understand. If Krishna has given you, there are some devotees, Mataji, whose body is so light, they eat anything, they can digest anything. They eat so much of rice, they don't get thick. I eat this much rice and I get this much. This is my tendency. Then I asked my parents, and my mother told कि तुम्हारे मामा भी सब मोटे हैं. My father, you put him into a can of ghee, he will never become thick. You put me 1 spoon of ghee, I go bloat हो जाता हूँ मैं. So you have to realize what you are
Yeah, it
born with.
depends. Yes,
Exactly.
depends on the individual.
Exactly. And Krishna consciousness means awareness. So I'm not saying don't do nirjala. If you can tolerate nirjala without eating medicines, then it's it for you. But if slowly, see, I'll give you one more example. See, I give my personal examples because generally people relate better when they give their own examples, but I love to give them. Okay. And I'm going to continue like this. My classes, some devotees come and say, you speak in your class the same way you speak to me here. What's the difference? I say, I don't want to be different. That's reality. Why shall I be sitting on a Vyasasana or being recorded in ICF? This is how I talk to Achintya Gopinath even when he was Ashish. I know Ashish from 15, 16 years now. He used to work for me for Mitra team in ICC. He's been with me from ages now. The one you call Achintya Gopinath, he's so close friend of mine. He has been several problems. He always calls me. And he's so close to me, but now he is quite well known, he's much more well known than what I have known in his circles. I'm so happy about it. But we both have seen this. So that naturally I always tell him, take care of your health. You're doing a great service. And he and me have a very good bond. So same way, to have a bond with Krishna, you have to be aware of your own self. You just cannot, your hand is 4 feet, 1 feet. You can't catch a bottle which is 10 feet away. You need to know. So same way, nobody says that you don't do nirjala. Got my point, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I understood.
That's all. Please do, but take care of your health. Yes. And that doesn't mean that you should not discipline. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Giving your own examples really helps us also to understand, and we see somebody in front of us who's lived that life gives us more assurance.
I would say that all of you also you should do that. Please always don't see, Krishna consciousness is very practical thing. You see, I'm telling you, don't give classes. You are all preachers now. I know you are all, and you are all Krishna Kumar Prabhu, all the devotees, single devotee present here are going to be preachers or are already preachers. I always say, don't give classes to impress others. Don't give classes to show your panditai. Oh, I am so. I know nobody does, but don't do that. Don't give classes to show that, I can impress. Don't give classes for any asking from the Lord. Oh, if I do class, will you give me this? I know nobody asks, but these are certain principles which I have done. Even I don't even ask for classes. As actually, I have achieved a very big thing actually by not asking, because if anybody wants to call, he or she will call. But definitely that doesn't mean you don't let others know that you are available for class. You say, any time you feel 2,000 devotees in queue, like how I said Achintya Gopinath Prabhu, whenever he used to call me, Prabhu, I said, if 2,000 devotees are there, put me one. After 2,000 years, I'll get a class I will give. I was giving 2 classes, then it became 1. And now it may become so many preachers. 50% of all of you will become preachers. Then definitely I'll get once in quarter, means 3 months. I'm happy to do that because there are more preachers coming. Sorry, Mataji, you were saying something.
Hari bol, Prabhuji. Preachers, we are too far away. At least I am. But it was
No. It's just a matter of time. You increase your intensity, you will reach there.
Yes. With intensity, our efforts also have to increase, our endeavor towards reading and yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we don't see any raised hands. Could we end the class with the prayers?
Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hari bol. Vancha
Kalpatarubhyascha,
patitanam
pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anant Koti
Anant Koti
Vaishnava
Vaishnavindra ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna to all
Hare
devotees.
Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam to you.
Dandavat
Ram
pranam.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
I'll end the class, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.